Hi guys, this is your class video for tonight. So watch this and we will finish the last part of the Hamilton guided notes. If you have a problem getting into it and editing it, remember you use the edit document, edit in browser from the Hamilton guided notes. If you have a question, please let me know, but by now I think all of you should be able to use this and edit things. So we're going to begin our slide presentation with the emergence of political parties. And the first slide shows us that factions, meaning divisions, but factions is a word that you need to know, which is factions are people taking different sides. And we've been learning about factions because we've been learning about two sides, which is Hamilton and Jefferson. Hamilton and his allies are the Federalists, and then Jefferson, Madison, and the opposition become the Democratic Republican Party. So this is a important thing to mention. And so we'll go back here and we'll say that click or tap to enter text. Let me make sure I can do this, edit in browser. So we go scroll down. Those of you who are in 6.1, you did not get to room where it happened. You can skip over that. You fell behind. But go in and under emergence of political party, put in here factions developed. Hamilton and his allies are what? They are the Federalists. Jefferson, Madison, the opposition, they become, go over here and look, the Democratic Republican Party. So that's the Democratic, comma, or hyphen, Republican Party. Okay, and that's all we need to do for that one. Now we're going to go watch our second song, which is the cabinet battle. So we're going to go in and watch this song.
The issue on the table. France is on the verge of war with England. Now, do we provide aid and troops to our French allies, or do we stay out of it? Remember, my decision on this matter is not subject to congressional approval. The only person you have to convince is me. Secretary Jefferson, you have the floor, sir.
When we were on death's door when we were needy, we made a promise. We signed a treaty. We needed money and guns and half a chance. Who provided those funds?
France.
In return, they didn't ask for land. Only a promise that we'd lend a hand and stand with them if they fought against oppressors. And revolution is messy, but now is the time to stand. Stand with our brothers as they fight against tyranny. I know that Alexander Hamilton is here, and he would rather not have this debate. I'll remind you that he is not Secretary of State. He knows nothing of loyalty. Smells like new money, dresses like fake royalty. Desperate to rise above his station. Everything he does betrays the ideals of our nation. Hey, and if you don't know, now you know, Mr. President.
Thank you, Secretary Jefferson. Secretary Hamilton, your response. You must be out of your goddamn mind if you think the president is gonna bring the nation to the brink of meddling in the middle of a military mess, a game of chess where France is queen and kingless. We signed a treaty with a king whose head is now in a basket. Would you like to take it out and ask it? Or should we honor our treaty, King Louis's head? Do whatever you want. I'm super dead. Enough. Hamilton is right.
Mr. President.
We're too fragile to start another fight.
But, sir, do we not fight for freedom?
Sure, when the French figure out who's gonna lead them.
The people are leading.
The people are rioting. There's a difference. Frankly, it's a little disquieting. You would let your ideals blind you to reality. Hamilton, sir, draft a statement of neutrality.
Did you forget Lafayette?
What?
Have you an ounce of regret? You accumulate debt, you accumulate power, yet in their hour of need you forget.
Lafayette's a smart man. He'll be fine. And before he was your friend, he was mine. If we try to fight in every revolution in the world, we never stop. Where do we draw the line?
So quick-witted.
Alas, I admit it.
I bet you were quite a lawyer.
My defendants got acquitted.
Yeah. Well, someone ought to remind you.
What?
You're nothing without Washington behind you.
Hamilton.
Daddy's calling.
Okay, so that is cabinet battle number 2. And when we go over to our sheet, we're going to say, what was it about? And I want you to write what it's about. So I'm going to give you a couple of ideas. Jefferson, there's a revolution going on in France at the time, and they are fighting against the English. And Jefferson clearly wants to support the French, and he reminds Hamilton that he's good friends with Lafayette and that the French supported the United States and we should stand up for him. Hamilton, on the other side, just looks at it and says, France is in terrible shape. The king, he's been beheaded. The people are rising up. If we get involved with this, it's going to cost us money and time, and we've got to start our new country. And Washington takes a position at the end. So that's cabinet battle number 2. Please turn this off, answer, and come back in a minute. Okay, we're back now, and we're going to go to the next slide, which is going to begin to talk about how Hamilton died. He had a battle with Aaron Burr, the vice president, and he challenged him to a duel. Hamilton had campaigned against Burr in the 1800 election, as you guys read about, and insulted his character. And we're going to find out that Hamilton threw his shot. He says, I'm going to throw away my shot, which means that he shoots up into the sky. But Burr does not throw away his shot, and he hits Hamilton, and he dies the next day. So we're going to watch a short video about the duel between the two. So pay attention, and we'll have a question in a minute.
July 11th, 1804. Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr row across the Hudson River to a secluded dueling ground in Weehawken, New Jersey.
Hamilton and Burr see a lot of each other. New York is not a very big place. They're both lawyers. Sometimes they argue cases against each other in court.
They were just a year apart in age. They were both brilliantly educated. They were extraordinarily articulate. Their characters and temperaments had been forged in the American Revolution. And that's where the similarities end.
Whereas Hamilton has relied on his ambition and tenacity to cut a path from illegitimate orphan to the New World's elite, Burr was born into wealth and society. It's a distinction that seems to cause an instant and bitter rift between the men.
It's clear that Hamilton, on some fundamental level, distrusted Burr. He really felt that it was his job to keep Burr away from power. In 1804, Burr's running for governor of New York, and Hamilton does what Hamilton does, which is he steps up and basically tries to oppose Burr's bid for office.
Burr loses his bid for governor and points a finger directly at Hamilton.
Ultimately, Burr decides he's had it, and from that point on, now they're actually negotiating a duel.
The bitter adversaries take assigned positions and face each other.
Hamilton gambled on the fact that Burr would not shoot to kill. Hamilton knew that if Burr did shoot to kill, that Burr would be branded as a murderer, and it would ruin his career.
Ready! Present!
There are two shots. It's not absolutely clear what happened. Whatever Hamilton did or didn't do, Burr ended up hitting Hamilton. Hit him in the abdomen, pierced his liver, and lodged in his spine.
In critical condition, Hamilton is brought home and dies the next day, surrounded by his family. In the aftermath, Aaron Burr is charged with murder in both New York and New Jersey, but eventually the charges against him lapse.
Duels were illegal in every state of the Union, but they were never prosecuted because no jury would convict. Dueling was something that gentlemen did. It was a system outside the law and against the law, but it was something that everybody accepted.
Still, Burr never escapes his reputation as the man who killed Hamilton.
Getting elected president is an expense.
So there it is. That is the conclusion of Alexander Hamilton's life. And we're going to watch one more song and then answer a question. So the song is "The World Was Wide Enough" Well, first of all, you need to go through the duel. The slide is right here. You can take a look at it, freeze it there, stop, and then go and answer the question about death in a duel, which we've already gone over. So stop and turn this back on when you're done with the death in a duel questions. Okay, now we're back, and we're going to watch this last song, which is The World is Wide Enough. And the question is just basically, what is the song about? And you can answer that in there when you're done watching the song. So let's watch one more song. And
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 10 things you need to know. Number 1. We rode across the Hudson at dawn. My friend William P. Van Ness signed on as my number 2. Hamilton arrived with his crew, Nathaniel Pendleton and the doctor that he knew. Number 3. I watched Hamilton examine the terrain. I wish I could tell you what was happening in his brain. This man is poisoned by political pursuits. Most disputes die and no one shoots. Number 4. Hamilton drew first position, looking to the world like a man on a mission. This is a soldier with a marksman's ability. The doctor turned around so he could have deniability. 5. Now I didn't know this at the time, but we were near the same spot. My son died, is that why? He examined his gun with such rigor. I watched as he methodically fiddled with the trigger. 7. Confession time, here's what I got. My fellow soldiers will tell you I'm a terrible shot. Number 8. Your last chance to negotiate. Send in your second, see if they can set the record straight. They won't teach you this in your classes, but look it up. Hamilton was wearing his glasses. Why? If not to take deadly aim. It's him or me. The world will never be the same. I had only one thought before the slaughter. This man will not make an orphan of my daughter. Number 9. Look him in the eye, aim no higher. Summon all the courage you require. Then count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Number 10. Places fire. I imagine death so much it feels more like a memory. Is this where it gets me? On my feet, several feet ahead of me. I see it coming. Do I run or fire my gun or let it be? There is no beat, no melody. Burr, my first friend, my enemy. Maybe the last face I ever see. If I throw away my shot, is this how you remember me? What if this bullet is my legacy? Legacy. What is a legacy? It's planting seeds in a garden you never get to see. I wrote some notes at the beginning of a song someone will sing for me. America, you great unfinished symphony you sent for me. You let me make a difference, a place where even orphan immigrants can leave their fingerprints and rise up. I'm running out of time, I'm running and my time's up. Wise up, eyes up. I catch a glimpse of the other side. Lawrence leads a soldier's chorus on the other side. My son is on the other side. He's with my mother on the other side. Washington is watching from the other side. Teach me how to say goodbye. Rise up, rise up, rise up, Eliza. My love, take your time. I'll see you on the other side. Raise a glass to freedom. He aims his pistol at the sky. Wait! I strike him right between his ribs. I walk towards him, but I am ushered away. They row him back across the Hudson. I get a drink. I hear wailing in the street. Somebody tells me you'd better hide. They say Angelica and Eliza were both at his side when he died. Death doesn't discriminate between the sinners and the saints. It takes and it takes and it takes. History obliterates, and every picture it paints me and all my mistakes. When Alexander aimed at the sky, he may have been the first one to die, but I'm the one who paid for it.
Please go finish your notes now.